Good afternoon, friends. And today is a very important day for us that the founding chairman of International Institute of Security and Safety Management is with us, Sri Uday Singh. He has a long career, very successful career in the private security industries, a management graduate, engineer, and also kind of a person of governance in the security industries. Your experience flows from all corners, be it managing and growing company, be it kind of a making company from X level to the Y level. The third is that reorganizing company and reimagining things. A lot of managerial things which have come from the book, but many things have gone from your experience to the book. I was reading the other day the SIS story. There also I found many mentions about you. So we found that when IISSM is engaged with the global conclave, where our objective is to share lot many experiences that what is happening in the security industries. India is changing very fast, and we are having a kind of a 2047 vision given by the Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. And there, in the national interest, we have seen that Sindoor, Operation Sindoor, and many of the natural disasters also happened in the bordering states. All have given us a kind of a new dimension for the security agencies to pause and ponder over. So, in this situation, we are very much delighted to have your vision and your experience that how the new generation and also the security industry could be benefited. So, I welcome you in the premise of International Institute of Security and Safety Management. So, we would like to start this podcast we are doing as the sixth in this series. The idea and the objective is to disseminate information to the new generation, and also that the security industries and other stakeholders who are working in the disaster management area, climate change, and private security industries. So, how do you see that private security role is changing in India? It's very that you started long back, and that we have seen many of the stories, and we keep listening those things, the success stories. So 20 years ago, and in 2025 now, and from here 2047. So past, the present, and the future. How do you see roles of the private security agency?
So first of all, thank you for your kind words on introducing me. But let's go back to 20 years back. I have spent almost 45 years in corporate world in leading positions. Last 18 years of those 45 years have been in the company called SIS, which is the leading private security company in India now. So I have been on both sides of the table. I have been the buyer of security services. And security services normally in India means, that security guards, supervisors, with few torches, and it is hereditary, it is traditionally from what has migrated from chowkidars. But if you recall, India had the largest disaster in a chemical plant in the world on record. That was Union Carbide in Japan. Now that kind of disaster would not have taken place if this was a clearly case of a cultural issue. We in India, for some reasons, we do not consider safety to be a part of our culture.
Right.
Forget about security, which is securitizing ourselves, our plants, our machineries, our towns, our cities, our girls and our ladies and everyone. Safety is not even a culture in this country. You can see people crossing the roads. Half of them probably will meet with a fatal accident. It is only lucky that they survive. Otherwise, we have the highest accident rate. Commendable work has been done by government and by national disaster relief teams and the centers that have been set up, of which you have been a part. That at least the casualties from the natural disasters has reduced. But we still have the largest accidents road accidents, and otherwise. Very recently, there were 3, 4 stampedes in the religious places. Now, combine together all of it, when I entered this field, and then I was basically to see how private security, which today numbers around the private security industry, we call it industry, society and the government still calls it private security
Agencies.
and that's a big difference. Culturally, when we will wake up to the fact that it is an industry, it's not an agency, and there are close to about, my experience says, 70 lakh people engaged in this. Some could be unbranded security agency or company, and some could be highly branded. Now, at least 50% of them are at least semi trained, and 50% of that 50% is well trained.
Well trained.
It's a natural phenomenon in developed countries in the Western world that as the minimum wages go up, the manual labor required is less and the industry swings towards technology. It will happen in India also. Fortunately or unfortunately, we still have a lot of people available and much lower skilled than the private security guards. And that is why this industry is still thriving. People also forget that apart from providing security and safety to the society, private security industry plays a big social role. Imagine 70 lakhs people currently employed by the estimate of the
So it's helping in employment
PF registration. It is the largest employment sector in private sector. And you're forgetting one thing, that it has an attrition rate of close to 40%. So every probably 2 or 3 years, you re-employ next 70 lakh people. Whereas these 70 lakh people would have probably skilled and gone up the ladder. Now, if you imagine that, then you can see that what is the social impact potential of this industry. There's average, if every house in India has got 4 mouths to feed, I keep on repeating that. Just imagine this industry help feeding how many mouths in the country.
So one very important thing which you flagged, one that you said that safety is not a culture in our country, especially. Despite this, we are having a phenomenal growth in the private security agencies. So one way that security is marginalized, and still we see that need of this, and that is why the number has grown exponentially high, say 70 lakhs, and will go further even more than that, which is helping in employment generation. And also, you highlighted side by side the crowd and stampede, which is happening side by side. So we have 70 lakhs people working in this sector, 26,000 agencies, nearly
30,000.
30,000 agencies are working. So do you see that agencies are also responsible as a kind of, you said, it has been still called as agency, not as an industry. So whether these industry have to grow upskilling, or they have to improve their standards, how do you see that paradigm shift from agency to the industry?
So two things, I'll respond to the first one first. That safety not being safety being a cultural issue in our country. How do we still see growth of security industry and the people that it employs? It obviously means that we have not been able to make our society safer or secure. That's number one. Number two, it is an established fact that the security, housekeeping, and all such things, those industries rise at minimum 3 to 4 times of GDP growth rate. And you all know that India's current growth rate is the highest in the world. It's still growing at 6.5–7% per year. So you can see how much new industries, new condominiums, new hospitals, new schools are coming up.
Yes.
And that is why it gives rise to the market expansion. More the market, more agencies will come. There will be more people who will be employed. I feel that there are gaps at two levels. One, at the front end workers, in this segment, which are called guards and supervisors, the skilling level is minimal, excepting for some leading companies like maybe SIS, G4S, and few others. No attempt has been made to skill them or to manage their life cycle. A guard will not forever be remain guard. He acquires certain experience, he should move on to become supervisor and could be a manager one day. That doesn't happen as it should happen. And the second point was, where is the gap in the managerial capability? How many people have a career choice that I'll go to industry, engineering, or medical, or dental? These days, even pet care has become a subject in which people are saying that there could be a lot of money.
Opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities.
Yes.
Now, I'm surprised that for lots of graduates who are passing out, they don't choose security as a career, whereas the extreme is also available in our society. For external threats, we have one of the second largest army in the world, which is still a choice for lots of people because of certain passion that they have. Somebody from their family would have probably worked in the army, and there is always a glory. There is a lot of prestige associated with a job in an armed forces. But why it is not so for security industry?
So this is very interesting observation which you have said, like that army people are very much inclined to join. Even in the civil police, that people who used to become to join the police, and even the guard, you see that whenever interview happens, the trains are full going for that, and they find themselves that is a very very good sector to work. And this is also private security is a security part of the security in total safety and security of the people. So security industry is growing, but the point which you are saying is not attracting the brighter youth as a career.
Exactly.
So how that you see that security industries can draw lessons from your wisdom and experience working over long years, those who are working this, how to make it more lucrative. People should feel attracted towards this industry as well as a good talent.
So for every segment, you will see based on the attraction for that particular forum. You see, Kota has suddenly developed as a coaching city of India for the UPSC and engineering and other such careers. When that day will come for security, IISSM kind of bodies should persuade the government to first of all give it industry status and then open the views. We are talking of unemployment, large numbers of graduates of this country. They should popularize that this is also a sector. Everything need not be done by paramilitary forces. There are many things which can be done by private security industry who are responsible and who train their people, who have managers who are, passionate about it. I can give you a case study. When the 26/11 happened and Hotel Trident was one of the targets. And after that, the decision was taken, whichever was the private security agency, they were asked to go and they were replaced by SIS. And when we planned that it is not the time to provide only guards. Let's provide graduate trainee officers. So everything was being managed by graduate trainee officers. They have higher level of education. They have higher decision-making capabilities. And they actually smoothened out all rough corners in about 2 months' time. And after that, the guards and supervisors were redeployed. Now, I'm trying to say that I also have worked in Australia where SIS has got in business. It is one of the preferred place to work for security guards. A, because the government has decided that the minimum wages will be, let's say, $80,000 per year minimum, whereas a good engineer will probably command $150,000. So that gap is not alarming. Here we have a very poor salary structure for this segment. Yes, I know that labor code is pending, so maybe those wages will go up. I think that is where I try to bring that IISSM kind of company, of platforms,
Institutions. Yeah.
see, should popularize the concept of, you know, zero sum game.
Mm.
What you actually spend on security, you save many times more.
More. So it is an investment.
It's an investment.
It's not an expenditure.
It's not an expenditure.
It's a very interesting observation that security industry should also come forward, and they should also think and go for skilling and upskilling, set standards, and the way the GT concept was actually integrated
Yes.
in terms of that bringing quality to the service. So similar kind of impact. The other day I was in the meeting with the National Disaster Authority member, and he was telling that's how 70 lakhs people, those who are manning vital installations in the country, and their skill set should be good enough to respond to disaster like situations because they are as a considered as a first responders. Here the state should also come forward for integrating with the disaster plan. But the main problem is that what we see as a kind of ISSM, we see that the guard impression we draw from different other agencies which are not very professional, but the public perception goes very viral in terms of that guard means like that. So,
Yeah.
so challenge which I am saying you are a very kind of innovative person. So do you see that Pasara Act or the public policy or incentivization that will work, or private security agencies and ISSM should take action and private security agencies should come together?
Pasara was an attempt by industry. Representation was made, and I'm sure that IISSM played its role.
Mm.
It was a basic step that out of 30,000 people should all be licensed to provide.
Mm.
And so it had certain basic elements, what all must be done. But no value was added beyond that.
Mm.
It has become a paper regulation that you have a certificate so you can operate.
Mm.
What I'm trying to say is a paradigm shift in government, in industry, and also in platforms like IISSM. See, the whole world understood cost of quality being not a cost actually.
Mm.
In the 80s, when Toyotas became the world leaders, they said our the cost of quality is actually a zero sum game.
Mm.
Loss prevention is the same zero sum game for industries and security.
Mm. Right.
You talked of disaster management.
Right.
All emphasis of government on that
Prevention
is based on the concept that the expenditure that we make or investments that we make will help prevent colossal losses.
Yes.
Similar is the condition for the safety and security. Private security industry can play a huge role if investment is made in that, in educating the people, in training the people, in skilling the people, and more importantly, the managerial staff.
Mm.
See, the beauty of an army officer is that he has been trained and regimented so well
Mm.
that his reaction time and his decision time is so small. It takes a very little time how to prevent a disaster from happening, right? Same thing is with the manufacturing companies. And I will take once again automobile and particularly Toyota, where I have been many times. How do they create that there is no added cost of quality because cost of recall, cost of reworking, cost of rejects is far bigger than investment in maintaining quality. And that's why they said, quality is free. I also believe security and safety doesn't entail cost. It's free, provided we understand the concept.
So this is important perception about this that many of the people they think probably spending money. It's not spending money; it's an investment.
It is
And
investment.
saving a lot of things. This total loss prevention, which you said, and of late, what we have seen, the government has also have a larger trust in the private security agencies.
Yes.
The way it is growing, like from railway to the airport and to the other vital installations that private security agencies have begun. So this is a very clear-cut indication of building trust between the government and the private security agencies. But private security agencies should also come forward in terms of reiterating this, that yes, what the government faith or the trust is there, we are also going to provide a good services. Everybody compares with the CISF or other agencies goes.
Mr. Santosh, I will say that, what it has become in India is you take one step forward, then I will take two steps forward. It is actually collaboration. No airport can afford for all duties CISF because they cost you almost 65 to 70,000 rupees a month. And finally, you are trying to recover that cost from the passengers who is flying. So it's an economic sense. Whereas you, for certain non-core activities, if you do not have CISF but have private security agency people or industry people, the cost comes down by at least 60%. The cost on ultimate gainer or the ultimate gainer in the whole game is the passenger. The airports become profitable. I think that we have missed the point that it's a cultural issue. How many lives, good lives, young lives are lost? There is a value to that.
Well, to that, yes.
So, in place of that, if we have private security industry, having mobile patrol vans, looking at the signages on the national highways and other places, that's monitoring. There will be a cost, but how many lives can be saved?
Exactly.
Now, this is something which I always wonder, and some of my colleagues from US had told me when I was running a multinational company that Uday, safety doesn't seem to be a culture, is a cultural issue in your country. And that actually is with the economic growth, with the growth in traffic in the cities, in the population, with migration from rural to urban areas who are not aware about the traffic rules in large metropolitan cities, the safety, the danger to safety is increasing at an alarming rate. We are the country recording highest number of road accidents,
Yes.
road fatalities.
Yes.
You talked initially of the hospitals. Hospitals have the same thing. Every day you hear one or two news items that newborn child was swapped. How can that happen?
Yes.
These are issues everywhere. The problem is that you cannot deploy army or paramilitary forces for everything.
Yeah. And I read
There has been a great, creation of national disaster relief force, state disaster relief forces. They are not paramilitary. The same thing can be also done or achieved, at least to some extent, by training the private security agency guards, supervisors, to that level on those aspects.
So if I take two specific example, where as a new venture, as a kind of a new positioning of private security agency, although they might be there already, you said 1.76, 1,76,000 people on the roads, they're dying every year in the country. And we say that the statistics doesn't have any emotions. It goes with the family. If one family person is dying on the road, so the whole family collapses. So 1.7 lakh, 76 lakhs, 76,000 people dying on the road. So their private security industries just not providing guarding, but also providing services like hospital care. They're taking to the trauma, the vehicle, where the people can be taken to the hospitals very fast without losing time,
Yeah.
heli ambulance and kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, do you see this as a new venture along with the disaster response, the road accidents, and also that we are seeing as a kind of a crowd management? Many temples, security industries are there. So, how do you see that?
These are all interrelated and business opportunity for the industry and a great lifesaver for the government and the society. The three stakeholders in this. I think everyone has to step up and work in it together. It cannot be that you take one step forward, then I will take two steps forward. We have to change the mindset that we cannot be an internally safe country. We can. I mean, lots of things have changed. We took a giant leap in IT industry.
Mm.
We graduated into IT industry to Pentium 5 much ahead of the Western world. So if we have the will, we can do that.
So do you see that some intervention is needed from the government by empowering more the private security agencies?
It has to encourage.
Encourage.
It has to encourage.
Mm.
And more than that, I think there has to be a learning platform like IISSM, where these new thoughts can be given to the promoters and the owners of the private security industry, because most of them are in the sector unlisted and they are still run by the families. But they do not have currently the facility of learning what can happen. Everybody thinks that if electronic comes, then my income will come down. It will not happen that way. Value added services or solutions will always fetch you more margins.
So I was about to ask this question, the last one more question. In terms of technology is coming and undertaking like AI, big data, camera, digital camera, all new monitoring tools which have come up with the help of technology. And we are saying total loss prevention. And we see that two, three areas are very critical in order to reduce the life impact, say road, road accidents, say vital installations, say that crowd management. So how do you see the technology and the good combination of man guarding will go together? Technology is a new fear, but technology could be a good asset as well for the total loss prevention.
As I told you that for every development, for every innovation, there is always an economic reason. In the IT industry, AI has come for that reason. And probably it's also an era of data analytics. AI helps in that. And what 10 people could do in a customer's place, bringing an IT solution, probably you don't require anyone. Or probably writing a code or a program, probably it can be done by artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and many others, Gemini, and all that. I think same stage is not here, but unmistakably all over the world, the way to go is technology. And technology, when I say, is technological tools given to the people in private security industry. Now, if you have 10 cameras which are doing a surveillance of the hospital, then you require only 2 operators in the control room.
Yeah, and
obviously that is the trend which you will not opt. This is compulsorily will happen. And that is what always happens. That better tool is adopted. People have to become skilled. And that's what I was emphasizing.
Yes.
If you see the pyramid of Indian population, we have bottom of pyramid where there are 500 to 600 million people are there. They're poorly skilled. Country is changing from an agricultural
To urban areas.
to urban areas. Now, where is the skill? Now, a lot of people need to be told that when the signal is red, you can't cross. When it is yellow, then also you should not cross.
Yeah. They speed up like.
But they speed up when it is yellow because they want to go. See, these are the cultural issues which has to be done through training, education, and also regimentation. And that is where I think government has to play a role. It has to encourage the industry. Industry has to also come up to take up this challenge, and it has to redevelop. And I think IISSM is kind of platform which can.
So as a way forward, being the chairman of the foundation of IISSM, way forward I would like for IISSM and also for the security industry. One is this in terms of that we say that can India also export skilled kind of a security to outside India as an export value?
Yeah, it is already doing that.
It's already doing that.
I mean, all Western countries have today are not having demographic dividends like us. If you go to Dubai, you go to Australia, airports will only find Indians or from Pakistan or Bangladesh doing security services. We are the ground. We have two kinds of migration: rural to urban in India, and then urban to.
So you see a lot of opportunities already engaged with that in the to export skilled kind of a security services.
That is the important thing: skilled.
Skilled.
You can't send just raw material.
Raw material. And second is that for the security itself, like you said, that urbanizing India. So there we see that I was taking the example of Mumbai. So 68,000 people live in a 1 square kilometer. So you can very well see the challenges for the providing security and safety for the total loss prevention.
Yeah.
So what could be the way forward for managing big cities and the smaller cities for the security needs is what I mean there.
I, I I think that has a lot to do with the town planning, the corporations of that place, and the leaders of the government to come to terms with that. But once again, those are very typical cases. If there is a stampede and it is a thickly populated slum area, you can imagine the cost of the the catastrophe that will bring. But you will also find out that if you read the records of NCRB and all, the stampedes take place in the temples and other places where you do not expect so much of crowd. In a slum, they have reconciled to the fact that there are many families and they are crowd. So they're probably mentally prepared that will not allow this to happen or that to happen. How many stampedes have heard in slums actually?
No, not at all.
That's the point I was trying to make.
And where the mass congregation is there.
Yes. So when something unexpected happens, there is always loss of lives. We have to bring the level of unexpected events to an expected line.
So expecting the unexpected.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
And see that many of the schools, colleges, educational sectors now they are. We always say that safety of culture should be built in the schools, colleges, educational institutions. So where you see IISSM way forward in this?
I must tell you that we talked about safety not being culture of the country. Where does it start? It starts from children. It starts from schools. Tomorrow they will be adults. You'll be surprised that the culture of safety in advanced countries, there are two countries that I will quote. One is Japan, the other is Australia, where from the kindergarten they are being taught how to cross the road, how to, and the workers are right from day one, they are told how to run, how to, walk in the factory, the shop floor. This is a culture which has to be developed. It's not, it's a bit difficult in our country, but nothing is impossible. It can be done. Concerted efforts are required from all stakeholders. And I think IISSM, you said that we started version 2 new journey towards it. That should focus more on educating people about new safety measures and how to inculcate the culture from early childhood. Start from schools. And then the private security industry requires a lot of training and upskilling and exposure.
So before I conclude, just one last word in terms of for the community, those who are listening to you, how an individual can become a responsible citizen in terms of ensuring security and safety in their own lives.
I think that if I'm able to convert 2% from a culture of being unsafe to safe, I've done my job.
Thank you very much, sir, for bringing a couple of points, and that we would like to summarize as that we need to build culture of safety first, and the foremost requirement. We keep doing and making things, but not actually focusing on the security. This is an investment. It's not an expenditure. And this is the role of the governance and also role of the security industries. Private security industries also they are doing very good job, but they need to upskill and upskill further. They can be a kind of a good guarding to the nation and also at the time of emergency, say war and a disaster, but they can also be send as a upskill for workforce to helping other countries in terms of providing those services.
Whenever they've been upskilled, it's a testimony. The history is a testimony that they have done that. In terms of in times of external war, civil defense is completely done by the
community.
community.
Yes. So that's the in the role of war also you see, and then prevention we also say the skilling, and IISSM should also focus on building capacity, helping security industries thinking new paradigm, coping with the new challenges, and we can have a kind of a more of a knowledge transfer to them.
Yes.
So as a kind of a fraternity, and also security industries should come forward for getting those kind of learning and making investment in themselves, so that 26,000 today may be 50,000 tomorrow.
Yeah.
70 lakhs personal working today, maybe 2 crores kind of a personal working in the sector as we are growing.
Yeah.
But it will not go in the same way as the business as usual. It has to.
It has to change.
It has to change. So that is the lessons which we are.
And managers have to look towards, educated people have to look towards this as a
So this
as a career.
So manager security industry should also start attracting people, good talent as an industry, like IT industry has grown up in the past.
Yes.
Same way, we are seeing that huge potential in the security industry, provided the security industry and the institution like IISSM should come forward and take this security industry to the different level.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
sir,
very
for
much.
coming over here
Thank
and
you.
sharing your points. We are delighted and grateful to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.